So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all well. This is another huge show, and today a very special guest is here with us, Torben Witajewski, and I have invited him here because I wanted to know a lot of things pertaining to the coaching which is happening in Pakistan right now. He is the assistant coach of Pakistan team, and as we all know, he is from Germany, from the country of Jurgen Klopp and Julian Nagelsmann, and also Ralph Ragnick. And he has worked, if I'm not mistaken, in India, Kerala Premier League, also in England, in Germany, in Finland as well. So in Bahrain, he has also worked. So he has worked in lots of countries. But how was his experience in Pakistan? We will ask him that. But first of all, I would like to know, Torben, how are you and how is everything going?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for having me. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm in Germany at the moment. What you said, so I'm good and looking forward for the World Cup qualification in October.
Yeah, World Cup qualification. All our eyes are on that World Cup because we want to break the jinx. As you know, we haven't qualified and or gone past round one, in our 75 years of history. It's a bit of a curse. It's a bit of a jinx. But I would like to know from you, when you worked, with Pakistan team, how was your experience and how did the boys respond to you and Mr. Shahzad Anwar, obviously the head coach? I would like to know that. I will not ask questions pertaining to SAF because I know it's really depressing. I will not ask that. So this is the main thing I would like to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry about the questions. Okay, for sure the results were not really good, so it was really tough to understand. If you have 6 matches and you lose 6 of them, it's not easy for the whole country, for the players, for the coach, for everybody. So we expected more for sure, because basically you play
Hmm.
football for winning matches. Basically, the work is really interesting because you have a lot of quality, a lot of good players in the squad, a lot of young players. So the future of Pakistan football is definitely there. But what you said, the matches in October, the World Cup qualification is, in my eyes, it's very important for the country because
Yeah.
if you will not survive this first round, you have nothing in the next 1.5 years. No matches,
Hmm.
no Asian Cup qualification, no World Cup qualification. So, in my eyes,
Yeah.
these matches are very important for the federation, for the people in the country, because the people in the country are the most important thing. So, in my eyes, you have to invest everything. You have to use every chance, and you have to try to beat India in these 2 matches. And in my eyes, if you just compare the 2 teams, the quality of the teams, the players, um, it is definitely possible. So it could be worse. The draw could be worse. So in my eyes, it's
Yeah.
possible to survive, and because of that, you have to invest everything to try to win these matches.
Torban, I think I would like to ask you here that what is your mantra or philosophy, or I should say, game model or identity to play football? And who do you idolize as your manager? Is there any manager you idolize, any style of play?
Yeah, basically you have to separate a little bit, because in my eyes it's always nice to have a philosophy, to have a style of
Yeah.
playing, but we all know that football is based on results. So it doesn't matter how the style is, you have to win matches. So
Yeah.
my role model is basically normally Jose Mourinho, because he won everywhere. So everybody is speaking negative about him because the style is not attractive. It doesn't matter, but he won everywhere. And for sure, for the people, is always nice to have attractive football, to have a lot of
Hmm.
possession, create a lot of chances, score a lot of goals. For
Hmm.
sure, every coach want to play that, but in my eyes, it's always very important to look on the players that you have. If you
Hmm.
if you come to a club, or if you
You
come
mean
to
the player profiles? right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, you
Um,
have to look on the players that you have, the profiles,
yeah,
possible what is possible to play, and then you have to adjust, in my eyes, your philosophy. If you say, okay, I have this philosophy and I work thus with this philosophy, but you don't have the players for that, in my eyes, it's
yeah,
not possible to be successful. So you always have to adjust your philosophy.
yeah, yeah. I would just, like to clear here that mostly people say that we don't have good quality players, but we never focus on the profiles. We never focus on the system, that what kind of profiles of players we need for the system. The formational system, or you would say, when you defend, what's your shape? When you attack, what's your shape? Oscar Tabares is a manager of Uruguay, if I'm not mistaken. He once said that there are four phases of play: attack, defense, defensive transition to attack transition to defense transition. So that's the four phases of play. How does Pakistan, respond in these four phases of play, and why? The second question is, why do we not have a proper set piece coach?
Yeah, okay. First of all, I must say a lot of questions in that. So first of all, I must say I don't agree with the people who are saying that we don't have quality. In my eyes, we have quality. This is a clear point. The players are good. There are definitely
Mm,
more nations who have less quality than we have. So
mm,
I think the situation in Pakistan or Pakistan national team is really special because a lot of
mm.
players are normally playing in Pakistan. There, you know that there's no official league, so no
Mm.
match experience, no time for these players. This is really really difficult. Then additionally, you don't have so much matches, especially now in September. We don't have friendlies. This is really really difficult because you have a lot of players from Europe.
Oh, that's really difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. This is
got
really
you.
difficult because you have to use every chance. And in my eyes, you have to play friendlies now in September because nearly every nation has
Mm.
matches. So we need matches. Um, then additionally, you don't have a scouting network, you don't have databases because you have a lot of players outside of Pakistan, America, Australia, Europe,
Yes.
everywhere. There are a lot of players with Pakistan roots, a lot of good players. So you have to find them, you have to scout them, and you have to put them in the team. This is very important, and then you can increase the quality definitely more than you have it at the moment. So yeah, what you said with set pieces, coach, and something like that. So the coaching stuff in our national team is very small. So we don't have this big coaching stuff like other nations have. So it is not really easy because you have just some people who have to make all the jobs, have to make everything. So for sure, you would need a structure, but I think it is very difficult for the federation, and I think I
Mm.
have to defend the federation too, or the people who make the decision in Pakistan, because you have to look in the future. And what I said, now you have two matches in October, and these two
Yeah,
matches are very important for the future of Pakistan football, because if you
yeah.
if you survive these two matches, you have six more matches in World Cup qualification, you have Asian qualification, you have a lot of matches in the next 1.5 years. So it means you get a lot of money, you get a lot of structure, you get a lot of possibilities to have these matches. If you lose these two matches, you have nothing in the next 1.5 years. So I think
Mm.
it's really, really difficult for the federation to
Mm.
prepare that, to look in the future, because nobody knows how these two matches will work at the end. So in my eyes, what I said in the past, you had to prepare everything. You had to invest everything for these two matches in October. You have to focus on these
Mm.
matches, friendlies now in September. Have to play
Mm.
these matches, try to survive this first round, and then
Mm.
you could have a structure. You can prepare more, because it is always very difficult to find stuff if you tell them, okay, you have two matches in October, and after that nobody knows what happens. So the people want to plan, the people want to prepare the future, and this is really difficult because the situation is not really easy, and I think this is the
Yeah,
biggest problem what we have in Pakistan at the moment.
yeah. Torben, you said that in a podcast that in September we should have friendlies with the opposition against whom we can have a chance, whom we can beat or we can draw against them. Do you think that the federation right now, they are not going to, organize a proper kind of friendlies in September. So can that backfire if we do
Um,
not organize friendlies before Cambodia?
yeah, first of all, what I said is that we need friendlies where we have a chance to win, because
Hmm.
the team basically the country everywhere is very frustrating, because you lost a lot of matches in the past. So
Yeah.
in my eyes, it makes no sense to play a friendly where you have no chance to win because you hit
Hmm.
on the team. It makes no sense in my eyes. I know that other people think on different ways, but I think you need matches where you have the chance to win. So the second thing is what you said. In my eyes, you need friendlies now in September, because you have to prepare the team on these two
Yeah.
important matches in October. Because in October you don't have time. You have
Yeah.
the players in Europe; they have the league, so you have just 1 or 2 days in front of this match to travel to Cambodia. The players have
Hmm.
a long way from Europe to Cambodia. Is a very long way, because from England, from Denmark, from me it's the same, from Germany, long way. So you have no preparation, no training, maybe 1 or 2 training sessions in front of this Cambodia match. And after that, it's very busy too, because you have to travel back to Pakistan, have the second leg on the 17th of October.
Yeah.
So normally you need this preparation now in September to have a match. So
Hmm.
basically, what the problem is, I don't know. Maybe it is the under 23 in Bahrain, because we have a lot of young players. So these players will go with the under 23 to Bahrain. I
Hmm.
don't know what the federation is planning. I don't know the reasons. I must say I don't know the
Yeah.
reason why we don't have matches in September. But in my eyes, it would be very important to have these friendlies in September, because you
Yeah.
have to use this chance. Okay, a lot of players maybe who will be in the World Cup squad in October will be now in the under 23, so they have matches, but not all of
Yeah.
them. And because of that, I think it would be very important to have these matches. But okay, now we cannot change the situation. We have to live with
Yeah.
that, and we have to prepare as good as we can. We have to select the best players for these matches, and after that, you have to hope that you will try to survive these 2 matches. And I repeat it again: in my eyes, it's possible to beat Cambodia. For sure, it is not easy. Cambodia has a lot of quality, a good coach, a lot of quality. But in
Yeah.
my
They
eyes,
are also playing against Hong Kong and
yeah,
Macau.
they have 2 matches now. They have 2 matches
Yeah.
in September, so they will have this match experience. They have
Hmm.
players who play in leagues, so the players have match experience outside of the national team. This is an advantage against us, but in my eyes, it is definitely possible to survive these 2 matches.
Yeah. Torben, I would like to ask you. Look, Adil Nabi can arrive. There are reports that he can come. Etizaz Hussain can come. We also know that Otis Khan will be available for the Cambodia qualifiers. Isa will be there. Then we have Abdullah Iqbal. He will be there. Harun Hamid. He will be there. Adnan Yaqub, Rais Nabi. All these players. Now Adnan Yaqub, Rais Nabi, Isa, Otis, Adil Nabi, Etizaz. These players. These particular players, these players will not play in the under 23. They need to get some coordination going. They need to gel together with the local players. That is extremely important, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And they need training sessions for that. I do not believe that with 2 weeks of training, you can you can beat Cambodia with just 2 weeks of training without any friendlies. That's my perspective, totally my opinion. You may disagree with that, I guess. But the thing is, I think we should at least have 4 weeks of trainings, but that is unfortunately not possible because the clubs of these foreign players, or I should say origin players, diaspora players, will not let these players to go because they will not allow. They will need these players in their league matches, like
Yeah.
Grimsby Town will need Otis Khan. So that is a very very big problem. But with this, I would like to add a question that how would you play Pakistan considering the situation right now? For example, you were
Yeah.
the manager. Just an assumption. You were the manager.
Yeah.
What would be your style of play against
Yeah.
Cambodia?
Yeah, exactly what you said. So the situation is really difficult because
Hmm.
the players from outside of Pakistan will have the last match on the 9th, on the 10th of October. So just 2 days in front of the Cambodia match, they will be available to travel to Cambodia. So you have no training, nothing.
Ah,
This is what I said. So normally you had to use this chance in September
mm,
to have this time, is 1.5 weeks, because the players would be able and would be allowed to come to Pakistan or wherever to have these two friendly matches, or maybe one, I don't know. So yeah, the style of playing, this is always difficult to say, because you have to look on the opponents. So we need these two impressions of Cambodia now in the matches. What you said against Hong Kong in the second match in September too. But in my eyes, it's very important to focus on the basics. We
mm.
saw it in Mauritius, we saw it in India. Um, we tried to play interesting football. This is what I
Mm.
said. The people want to see that. The people want to see interesting football. The people want to see possession. The people want to see a lot of created chances. But in my eyes, in our situation, this is not possible, because we are not in a situation that we won a lot of matches in the last years. We are not in the situation that we have a lot of motivation. We have nothing. We lost a lot of matches. We won nothing. And because of that, you have to focus. You have to focus on the most important thing. This is try to concede no goals and try to score at the end. So in my eyes, you have to focus on the basics, just on defending, try to play counter attacks, try to attack. Maybe we have to look on the opponent, maybe try to attack a little bit higher, so that you don't have these dangerous zones in the back of your last four. And then you have to try on these wise. And I think it would
And
be.
work on set pieces.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
The question is, do you have the time for that? So this is
Mm.
because, especially now, you don't have so much training session. Maybe one training session in front of the first leg, and okay, then you have to travel from Cambodia to Pakistan. So maybe you have 2 or 3 training sessions more. So you
Mm.
don't have so much time, but for sure you have to focus on the basics. Set pieces, easy to work on
Mm.
it, because the ball is laying down, that you can adjust everything. So this would be a solution, in my opinion, to focus on the basics, and
Mm.
try to beat Cambodia on this way.
Mm.
Because all the other things, I think it is dangerous. For sure you can play on possession, because if you have the ball, the opponent cannot score. But
Mm.
we saw it in a lot of matches of the last six. We made silly mistakes, easy mistakes, especially the
Yeah.
match against India, the first goal, against Kuwait, the first and the second goal that we conceded, silly mistakes. Or Djibouti is the same. The second and the third goal, silly mistakes. If you look on
You
Kenya.
said you actually said that Mauritius was the most worst performance because there was absolutely no fight from the players.
Yeah, for sure, because this is what I said. You play not for a club, you play for your country. You play for your country,
Yeah.
and this must be normally the biggest thing in your football career, to play for your country.
Mm.
And because of that, I think every guy from Pakistan expect that you give
Mm.
everything for your country, because you have the
Of
flag
course.
on your chest. You have to play on this wise. And because of that, I think you can be worse in a match. You can lose a
Yeah.
match, but you have to lose with courage. You have to lose with
Mm.
attitude, with courage. And the match against Kenya was better, definitely, but against Mauritius, it was really, really bad. And this is what I said after the match. Okay, Kenya was better, but you have to invest everything if you play for your country. And
Mm.
we were able to do that against Mauritius.
Uh, I just saw a game of West Ham versus Brighton recently, just recently, and I saw David Moyes' style of play, his approach towards the game. His approach is that he does not press. He defends in a very low block. He defends in a 4-1-4-1, very low block. And then he goes on to the counter because he has two very good distributors and two very pacey wingers and very skillful wingers. By distributors, I mean interiors, the number 8 roles, which we call, the Mazzella in Italian. And then he has a target man like Antonio. He has two wingers like Ben Rama and Jared Bowen. So his philosophy has worked, and I believe Pakistan can go with that same philosophy, that direct style of play, that defend well, move together. You also said in a podcast that Pakistan team players do not transition from one flank to the other. They do not move together. The attack, the defensive line especially, and the midfield line, they do not move together when the ball is switching from one flank to the other flank. So my thing is that Shahzad Cruyff, I call him Shahzad Cruyff because he always says in his interviews that I love possession-based football. I love Pep Guardiola, and he wants to build from the back. He wants to play short passes. But unfortunately, with these players, we cannot play that style of play right now. Right now, we cannot play that. I believe we should play the David Moyes style. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, what you said, Shazad want to play attractive football, and this is
Shahzad Cruyff.
exactly, yeah, and this is exactly what the people want to see. So normally he
Uh,
makes everything on the right way because the people want to see interesting football. The people don't want to see
yeah.
just defending.
He loves
So
Johan Cruyff. He's obsessed with him.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, it's interesting football. It's attractive,
yeah,
and because of that, normally it's totally right what he tries to do. But in my eyes, what I said at the beginning, football is a result-based sport, so you have to win
Mhm.
matches. And because
uh,
of that, what you said, okay, defending is gives you maybe more safeness, but you have to understand. Basically, you have to be able to defend because we saw it
yeah,
in a lot of matches that we weren't able to defend because our spaces between the lines were very, very big. So it
yeah,
is okay to say we want to defend, we want to focus on the work against the ball, but you have to be
mm,
able to do that because
mm.
otherwise it makes no sense because you can see the goals. So I think what you said, we have to focus on the defensive work. We need
The
smaller,
basics.
yeah, we need smaller
Mm.
spaces between the lines. We have to try to switch very fast after winning the
Yeah,
ball. We have to try to finish after that on the clear way, not so much possession after winning the ball because it's always dangerous. If you lose the ball, then maybe you concede. We saw it in the matches. So this is very important to focus on the basics, smaller
mm.
spaces between the lines, and then maybe it could be a solution to beat Cambodia, yes.
Torben, actually, I have noticed that Germans are actually very, I would say, obsessed with Arrigo Sacchi kind of philosophy, that counter pressing. And with Ralph Ragnick, many German coaches are influenced by Ralph Ragnick. I have seen this. Uh, he is, I guess, a sort of a foundation for you guys. I don't know, but many Germans follow him. You guys believe in high line. I watched Dortmund. I watched Dortmund very fondly because of Jurgen Klopp, and now the manager is now Tuchel, and he's also very successful. You guys play high line, quick transitions. You love quick transitions from defense to attack in the counter, and you guys also love pressing. That's the culture. Most of the teams in Bundesliga, they press. Right now, unfortunately, even though you are a German, you are saying that Pakistan cannot do that. They cannot play that style of play, and it's better that we move towards a Jose Mourinho kind of style of play because you also idolize him. That's why I took his name. We should take that mantra, and I also totally agree with you. I think we should just focus on the basics, defend, and we should know when to counter attack and the decision making in the final third. How much work does Pakistan need on decision making in the final third? That's my question.
Yeah, a lot of work, but I think it is just possible to work on it if you have matches because you need the
Hmm.
experience. Okay, if you see in the clubs, the players are able to finish. In the clubs, Otis Khan, as example, what you said, he scores a
Yeah.
lot of points in his clubs. But I think the problem is the team experience because we don't have so much matches. If you look on the matches in India or in Mauritius, a lot of players who made the
Hmm.
first match for Pakistan and
Yeah.
experience the chemistry in the team is not there because the players normally not playing together, and I think this is the biggest problem. But for sure, you have to work on all the phases in the team in the match. But I think, okay, you can do it in training, but normally in the national team, you don't have trainings. You don't have so much time. Okay, it was a special situation now with Mauritius and India because we were together for 3-4 weeks. It was a special situation. Normally, you don't have so much time.
Mm.
And because of that, in my eyes, you have to use every chance to have friendlies. Every chance where
Mm.
you have a FIFA window, you have to make friendlies. It doesn't matter where the players are, doesn't matter from where the players come. And yeah, I think this was a chance now in September. Unfortunately, we don't have matches. We have to accept that. We have to
Can
understand
we
that.
do it in October?
Sorry?
In your opinion, can we do it in October? Organize a friendly? Is there a chance?
No, because you don't have time for that. Because you just have 7 or 10 days of FIFA window, and you have 2 matches against Cambodia in this time. So there's no chance to have a friendly. So you have to focus directly on the most important matches.
Mm.
And yeah, it could work, but it could be
Mm.
dangerous. And because of that, it's not really easy. The situation is not easy.
I personally believe because in under 23 squad there is Abdullah Iqbal, Abdul Samad Arshad, and there is Harun Hamid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have a proper club right now because QPR released him.
Yeah.
So these three players, I think they are going to be the backbone versus Cambodia. I think they are definitely going to start. In my the way Shahzad Cruyff is working, Shahzad Anwar is working. So his mantra and his according to his mantra and his philosophy. Okay, I have seen Cambodia play. I have seen full 90 minutes. I've sit and I've observed them versus Bangladesh. Bangladesh defeated them twice in their home, twice, and Bangladesh played exactly like David Moyes, exactly like Jose Mourinho. Sit back, defend well, defend for your lives, and then counter attack and counter with pace. And I also observed that Cambodia's front three, they press very intensively, and their manager Felix Delmas, he has said it in an interview that I want to play possession based football and I also want to build from the back. He has categorically said this. So that's his philosophy as well. He also what should I say? He is similar. He thinks similar to the Johan Cruyff philosophy. It's pretty similar. The principles are there. So, what are your thoughts on Cambodia? How can we beat Cambodia, considering that they are going to play with possession and they are going to press from the front, very,
Yeah.
very intensive.
Yeah, first of all, you have to try to be able to concede no goals in Cambodia. This is very important because the first match is in Cambodia. You have to try to
Uh,
survive the
yeah,
first
yeah.
match because if you lose a clear result in Cambodia, it will be very difficult to play in Islamabad the second leg. So
Hopefully
I
in Islamabad. Hopefully.
yeah, it seems to be in
Yeah,
Islamabad. I hope so too, because I think for the country it would be very important to have the national team
yeah.
in the country back. I think it would be
I'm
very,
also from
very.
Islamabad, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be very bad if you have to play in Saudi Arabia or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, the facilities there are good, everything is okay, but I think the national team have to play in the country where the people are, and I think we would have a lot of supporters in Islamabad if we would play there, and we could make the country proud, and this is the most important thing. So yeah, what you said about Cambodia, I think it could be an advantage for us that Cambodia tries to play football because if they
Okay.
try to make the match, it is always an advantage because you can focus on the defensive work. But
Yeah.
I think it is very important to have a good organization against the ball. You need a good
Exactly.
organization because otherwise you have the problem what we had against India, against Kuwait. You have no chance to win a match if you don't have an organization against the ball. And I think this would be
Yeah.
the biggest challenge for us. This would be the biggest challenge for us to have this defensive organization because you have to go in the match basically without training because you don't
Hmm.
have time for training. You cannot work on a lot of things. Maybe you have 1 or 2 training sessions in front of the first match in Cambodia because it depends on the days when the players will arrive. Maybe you remember when we arrived to Mauritius, some players had problems with their flights, delayed, they missed flights, so some players arrived
Yeah,
later than others. So, and this could be the same situation in Cambodia too, because okay, for the players from Pakistan, it's not a problem because the distance is not really big, but from Europe, the distance is really big to Cambodia.
really big.
So,
Yeah,
and
and jet
because of
lag and everything will come into play.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
Basically, first of all, the jet lag. Secondly, the weather is difficult because in England, in Denmark, in Germany, it becomes winter in October. In Cambodia, 35 degrees. So this is the next problem. The time difference is the problem. Everything is different. The long flight is very, very difficult. So you have to try to focus on the work against the ball, because the situation is really difficult. The situation is really
mm,
difficult. You have to cope with all the problems, what I said. And
mm.
at the end, I think it could be an advantage that Cambodia tries to play football, because you don't have to make the match. You don't have to play on possession. You just have to.
And they play with a 3-4-3, by the way, 3-4-2-1. You are the opposition analyst of Pakistan. You must know better than me. So, yeah,
Yeah, okay. You have to. This was what they did in the last matches. So you have to focus
yeah,
now on the matches against Macau and against Cambodia, because against Hong Kong. Sorry, because they have two matches now in September. You have to
yeah,
look on these two matches. You have to try to find a way what it could be possible. What they are maybe playing in the matches against us. But I think in Cambodia, the most important thing is it sounds crazy, but you have to try to survive this match, because you have nearly 60,000 spectators from Cambodia in this stadium. It's a big stadium, a new stadium, but
yeah,
a big stadium. So you have nearly 60,000 spectators from Cambodia. Everybody is trying to push the team of Cambodia. Nobody will push us. I think there are
yeah,
not so
I'm
much
sure.
spectators from Pakistan. In Pakistan, the situation is different because it changed completely. But
Yeah.
you have to survive the first match, and
Mm.
this could be very, very difficult and very, very dangerous, because if you have a clear defeat in Cambodia, it is very, very
Yeah.
difficult to win the second match. I'm sure that if we will not lose the match in Cambodia, we will reach the second round, because I think in Pakistan we have a lot of spectators.
Yeah.
Everybody tries to push us because they want to see Pakistan in their own country. They want
Yeah.
to push us in the second round. So if you win in Cambodia, or if you play a draw in Cambodia, I'm sure
And
at the
away goal also will matter. Away
yeah,
goal.
yeah, for sure, sure. Maybe, but nil-nil is also okay. And nil-nil is okay too, because if you play a draw or if you win in Cambodia, I'm sure that we will
Mm.
win in Islamabad. I'm sure about that, and then you will reach
Mm.
the second round. But if you lose in Cambodia, a clear 3-0, 4-0, I don't know what else. I think it's very difficult, nearly impossible to repair this first result in Islamabad.
Mm. By the way, as we are recording right now, the under 23 squad is also out, and they have announced the under 23 squad. I will see it after this recording. But the under 16 had a very positive result last night. I don't know
Yeah.
if you have seen that game, but I saw the whole 90 minutes, and I thought that our future is very bright. But I do not know how Pakistan will handle these kids when they come back from SAF championship. I have no idea about that. So
Yeah,
let's see how it happens. But one guy, absolutely one guy impressed me, and that was Subhan Kareem. I call him now Subhan Kareem Benzema. So that right winger was absolutely phenomenal the way he played and also scored a goal. Your thoughts
yeah.
on that? I would like
I,
to have.
I totally agree with you, and this is what I always said. And you have a lot of potential in Pakistan, not just
Yeah.
for the national team. Under 23 is the same. A lot of players with a lot of quality. Under 16 now it's the same. You have a lot of players with big potential and a lot of quality in Pakistan. The problem in Pakistan is that we don't have this structure. If you
Mm.
would have a good structure, if you have a lot of good coaches, if you have a scouting network, if you have a database, if you would have uh, trainings with the national teams, if you would have training centers and something like that, you would definitely have more more quality, and you would be more successful than we are at the moment. And this is really, really sad, because Pakistan has a potential, but nobody use his potential, and this is the biggest problem. I think what you said, how to handle the boys, I think it is very important now, and I'm sure the coaches will do that, or better I say, I hope that. Um, for sure, it is a celebration because we won a match, but
Yeah,
we
it was
just
very important
it was
for
important, but
confidence.
we
Yeah,
just won one match. We
yeah.
won not championship,
No, no.
nothing. We won just one match, and I think this is very important now to focus on the next match. For
Yeah,
sure, we have to celebrate this victory, because for sure we won the
for
match.
sure.
Nobody will say, okay, we won a match, and it gives you nothing. For sure, it gives you a lot of motivation. It gives you
Yeah,
everything.
but we should try to get into the semi-final of the SAF under
Yeah, for
16.
sure, for sure. Now you have
Yeah,
to start focusing on the second match. Now you
yeah.
have to say, okay, we have motivation, we won a match, but now we have the second match, and it starts from 0-0. So you have to focus on the next match. You have to prepare the guys as good as you can, and hopefully then you will win the second match, because we saw in this match too, the players have potential.
Hmm.
Okay, for sure, it was a sharp result, but for sure you saw it was not just because of a lot of luck. The
Hmm.
players deserve this victory, for sure. We have to say the players deserve this victory, and this is what I said. We have potential, but we have to use it, and this is the problem in Pakistan. We are not able to use our potential.
Hmm. Okay, this is my last question, and in fact, the last two questions. I will just merge them. Uh, you said that Pakistan should play with a back four at all cost. It's important that we play with the back four because the back five, Shahzad Anwar is playing, that's not working. And we have seen it that the 5-2-3, 5-3-2, it was not working. Because you also said that the wide spaces, they were getting exploited. And
Yeah,
we were leaving a lot of spaces on the wide flanks.
yeah.
So my question is why we should play with a back four. What's the reasoning behind that? And who's your favorite Pakistani player in the current setup?
This is a difficult question. Normally, I cannot answer, because then I will have trouble. No, what? First of all, the first question, what you said. I think we saw it in the 5 matches against Nepal. We played with a back four, but in all the other matches we played with back three and back five.
Yeah, back
I
three.
think we saw in all the matches that we had a lot of problems on the wings, because the players weren't able to defend with just one player on the wings. Because if you play with back three or with back
Huh.
five, it doesn't matter
Okay.
how you name it. You have one player on the wing, and this player have to go offensively and defensively. And in my
Okay.
eyes, I would never play with back three, because I don't see the advantage of it. But it is just my choice. I
I
think
agree with you actually. I agree because I feel that Otis Khan and Haroon Hamid,
yeah,
they do not track back, first of all, and they
yeah.
are playing like interiors. They are not really wide on the pitch, in my opinion. What's your
Yeah,
thought on that?
because they are not defenders. They need to get the balls on the offensive line. They have to try to dribble on the target and have to try to score. But yeah, to come back to the back three. So I think it is a big disadvantage that you just have one player on the wings, and we saw it in all the matches that we had a lot of problems there, because we weren't able to defend it, because the
Hmm.
communication, defensive work were not good. The ways are very long for the wingers from the offensive to the defensive. So I think if you would play with back four, you have more stability, because normally you have
Hmm.
two players on the wings. As what you said, as example, if you play 1-4-1-4-1 or 4-4-2, or doesn't matter, you have two players on the wings, and I think this will gives us a lot of advantage, because we have more stability there. We can defend on a better way, and we have smaller spaces between the lines, because this is the same point what I said a few minutes ago. We had big spaces between our lines in the defensive
Hmm.
work. And I think the reason for that was that we played with back three, because the distance then is very big, especially on the wings. because it's normally not possible for the players from the central to go on the wing to try to support there. And because of that, I think we have to focus on back four. And then it doesn't matter. You can discuss 4-1-4-1 or 4-4-2, or it doesn't matter. You can discuss about a lot of things. But I think we need stability in the back four. And there you
All
have a
right.
lot of players who are able to play that. And because of that, I think this would be maybe a solution.
And who has impressed you the most in Pakistan team?
Yeah, this is difficult to say because I think every player showed the performance that he's able to show. But I think for sure I don't answer this question. I think to be honest, it wouldn't be fair to answer this question because
Yeah.
I think you
But you
cannot.
did say that Abdullah Shah impressed you the most in another podcast. You did say that in the local players.
Abdullah Shah
Yeah.
made a phenomenal match against Nepal. This is what I
Yeah.
said. He made a very, very, very good match against Nepal, and he's
So
very
he was
young.
impressive for you in
For
that
sure,
game.
it was impressive
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
against Nepal he showed a very, very good performance. So he's very young, has a big future, big potential. So he made a good match against Nepal. So for sure, but now he has to repeat that. There's a
Yeah.
big difference between a player who
And
has
he needs matches.
for sure he needs matches. He plays in
Mm.
Pakistan without the league. This is very difficult,
Yeah.
but you have to repeat this performance because there's a big difference between a player who has moments and the player who shows consistency, and this is
Exactly.
very important. This is
Well
very
said.
important now that he tried to repeat this performance, what he showed against Nepal, and I think if he's able to repeat that, I think he has a big future for sure.
Thank you, Torben. It was a pleasure having you. This is Torben Witajewski, assistant coach of Pakistan. He has a UEFA Pro license coach as well. I forgot to mention that in the intro. But thank you so much for coming, Torben Witajewski, giving us your time. Uh, this is it, guys. Please do like and share and subscribe and press the bell icon. We'll see you soon, hopefully in another video. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.